and welcome to Let's Talk About Books, baby, where we talk with your favorite LGBTQ authors. This is Anita Kelly, and my guest today is Alexis Hunter. Hi, Alexis.
Hey, Anita, how are you?
I am great. How are you?
I'm doing great. It's a little toasty here in Palm Springs, but it's okay. You take the good with the bad.
Yeah, and I imagine, it's July, so it's, we got to expect that in July, I guess.
Oh, sure. And then in August, it'll be pretty crummy, and September, a little bit better, and then October and November, it's gorgeous.
Ah, nice.
I mean, so beautiful here.
Yeah.
It's worth, if you can get away during the super hot months, it's great, but
yeah,
I'm not going anywhere. So unfortunately, I'm here. So
stay
it's okay.
inside. Yeah.
I'm just hanging in, kid.
All right. So, Alexis, let's talk about your book, which is called Joi Lansing, A Body to Die For. Can you tell our listeners who is Joi Lansing? And why did you write a book about her in particular?
Okay. Joi Lansing, I hope your listeners will check her out on Wikipedia or IMDb. Joi was one of the blonde bombshells of the 50s and 60s. Her contemporaries were Monroe, Jane Mansfield, Mamie Van Doren, Diana Dors. Joi was a sex symbol. She was one of the, if you check her out, she was more beautiful than any of them. But she was actually more known for working on TV.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she did a lot of films, but she did more TV than the rest of them. In fact, during that time period, a lot of your younger listeners probably can't imagine that there were only 3 channels on TV.
I know, right?
Yeah, do you believe that? Yeah, 3 channels, and Joi was on them at least one channel a week, doing all the sitcoms and all the shows of the day. I mean, Sea Hunt, Maverick, I Love Lucy, the Bob Cummings Show. She did all those shows.
And what time period was this? What do you think, around the early 60s?
Yeah, the 60s mostly.
Okay.
Yeah. She started working in films when she was 14. She did Easter Parade and, Sinbad, a lot of those, and some of them, they were uncredited. But, on IMDb, it'll show, she did over 100 TV shows.
Wow. I'm going to have to check out Easter Parade. I love that movie.
Yeah, it was so cool. Yeah. And I think she was in Singing in the Rain, too.
Cool.
But a lot of them were she was working for the studio. So that, she was just young and didn't get any credit for it. Okay. But later on she did. Okay. And she did big films later on with Sinatra and whom she dated later on.
So why did you write a book about her?
Well, I had no intention of doing it, but I was going through a health issue around 2006 to about 2008. I had crappy health insurance, so until I could get better insurance, I couldn't have the surgery I needed. Okay. And my hips went, both of them. Oh. So, I was in really bad shape. I was bedridden. And so, when I was bored, I'm on the phone calling everybody I know, and I got in touch with Joi's stepdaughter, whom I knew a little bit, when Joi and I were together. And she was dynamite and very helpful and kind. Her name was Leslie Todd. Okay. And Leslie, kept saying, why you're just doing nothing. She says, why don't you write a book? And I go, because I didn't know if she knew anything. I didn't think she knew anything about my relationship with Joi, because we kept it really closeted.
So tell us. Career. I don't think our listeners know about your relationship with Joi.
Joi and I were together. Okay. Yeah, we were. She was my partner. We were together uh, until she died in 1972.
So, Alex, that is like a notch on your bedpost. You were with
Yeah,
a blonde bombshell.
yeah, I was. I was very fortunate in my life to be with her. And the trippy part, which I think your listeners will like, is we met on a movie, a
Uh-huh.
crappy movie, a terrible movie called Bigfoot.
Okay.
And Joy, I didn't know Joy was in it, and a friend of mine called me. I was living at the Studio Club at the time, which is a home. It sounds weird, home. No, it was a residence for young actresses
Okay.
because I was going to be a movie star, right?
Okay.
and my buddy calls me and says, "Hey, you wanna do a film?" And I knew that this was going to be my big break. I was going to be a superstar, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I said, "Sure." And I went, and she introduced me to the producer and director, and I got the job. And so there I am in makeup at the crack. I think it was like 4 a.m. I can't remember.
Oh.
And I'm sitting there, and I was a Bigfoot monster. Yeah, because my friend said to me, "I cannot wear this blah, 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 monkey suit one more day."
Yeah.
So there I am in this faux fur. I mean, this was such a low budget film. It was a funky fur
Mm-hmm.
costume, except for my hands and my face.
Wow.
And so they were like spray painting black stuff on my hands and gluing this fake fur and
boy.
on my face and fake plastic fangs.
Huh.
And I'm sitting there, and in walks Joy, and I thought I was going to die.
Wow.
I thought I was going to die because when I was a kid, I had a crush on her. I thought, my God, she was the most beautiful woman I had ever seen in my life.
Uh-huh.
And I mean, if I had known she was in the film, I probably would have freaked out. But she came in and sat next to me, and we just started talking, and she was the sweetest person on the planet. And that's how it all started. We became friends. And as things progressed, I would, help her with her lines. We would just sit and talk.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing led to another. And I mean, Joy was straight.
Uh-huh.
She had been married 3 times, and it just happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
It had nothing to do with gender. It was just we fell in love. So
perhaps Joy wasn't straight. Perhaps she was, bisexual or.
Well, she had never been interested in women. In fact, Monroe hit on her, asked her to go to Palm Springs with her, and Joy refused. It freaked her out. So whatever happened, the timing, it was perfect in my life.
Yeah.
So it worked out, and we were together almost 4 years.
That's nice. That's awesome.
Yeah,
So-
it was great.
So in your prologue, you write about the reasons that you actually why you wrote the book.
Right.
Can you tell us about those?
Oh my God, I wrote it for a few different reasons. One was I want people to understand that, it's the catchphrase now, love is love. Well, love is love.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter who you are or who you love, as long as you love someone. I want people to understand that, and I want to stop bullying. Kids are having a tough time now.
Yeah.
And if I can stop that, or have people understand,
Mm-hmm.
that type of relationship, that it's no different than anybody else's.
Yep.
You have the good, the bad, the tough times, the good times. And I can't remember. Let me think. What else? And I want to stop silicone.
Okay. Yeah.
That helped. That I contributed to Joy's death. She had silicone injections in her breasts.
Yeah.
And
was that something that she was kind of forced to do by the studio, do you think?
well, she was in tremendous competition with Monroe and Mansfield.
So she saw it as a necessity.
Oh yeah, she thought, I've got to be bigger, better, and they're, at that time they're still the same thing, obsessed with women's breasts.
Yeah.
And so Joi thought, well, and she went with Sinatra. He had it in his face, and she had it in her breast. And I know she ended up with breast cancer.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
So that's why, it's a body to die for. She died for her body.
Yeah. That's so sad.
I know. Yeah, it's terrible.
And that still happens today, right?
Oh, yeah.
So many women, do body like altercations.
Right.
It's yeah.
Well, now and I want to really stop it. They're doing it. This obsession with having large behinds.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No, a lot of these women are getting silicone injections in their butts.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's cheaper and you don't have to have surgery. But eventually you do, because it destroys your body.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, women are having, there's a doctor in Florida. That's all he does is remove the silicone from women, especially in their glutes.
Yeah.
You get major lesions. It becomes necrotic. It's terrible. Jeez. It's absolutely terrible because it's illegal. It's always been illegal.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
well, I know that also, like you wrote about, like Joi's life was just tragic, kind of because of her vulnerability and her self-image and how she was portrayed in Hollywood, and this kind of facade that she had to maintain.
Right.
And with you, she didn't have to do that, right? She was
no. I adored this woman. I loved her. I'm still in love with her. So, yeah. I mean, it's going to be 50 years since she died.
Wow.
In August.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I mean, I was much younger than Joi. I was there was 18 years difference. I was 21 when we met, and she was 39, going on 40.
Okay. Wow. I'm so sorry. How did she die?
She died from breast cancer, and and ovarian cancer.
Okay. All right. And
yeah, we were together almost a year before she became ill, and then she had surgery, and they didn't think she would make it, but the chemo really helped her. She didn't lose her hair. It thinned out a little bit, but we had an extra 2 years
because of the
chemo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
yeah.
nice.
We had a great time. I mean, our life together was very full.
Did either of you have friends who like you confided with about, the true nature of your relationship?
I had one friend. His name was Vic Parker. He recently passed away, but Vic knew, and Joi's brother Larry knew, and that's about it. And Leslie, the one who kept encouraging me to write a book, knew, and I didn't know it. So, she kept telling me every day, "Why don't you write a book? Why don't you write a book?" And I thought, what am I going to write about? We had lunch. That's it. And then I finally got tired of, stalling with her. And I said, "Do you understand my relationship with Joi?" And she said, "Yeah, you guys were lovers." And I had no idea she knew. But Joi thought it was so cool to have a girlfriend. So yeah, she was thrilled.
That is amazing that Leslie, feels that way, seeing how, Joi was married to her father at the time.
Right. Right.
And kids are so perceptive. They see everything. So,
right.
She, as a child, she probably, was very observant and saw what was going on. Yeah.
And Leslie was like 5 years my senior.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she just passed away in 2018.
Oh, I'm so
But she was
sorry.
wonderful. She was a very, very dear friend,
Oh,
very kind.
that's nice to have an ally like that.
Oh
Someone who
yeah,
knows
no,
your
she,
history and knows
yeah,
the
and
real truth.
every day I would dedicate from 8 at night till 4 in the morning, and I would write like 10 pages, and then I'd send them to her.
Mm-hmm.
The next day and say, "What do you think, Leslie? Is everything okay with this?" Blah blah. Because I didn't want to upset her family.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because she had 3 daughters,
Okay.
and I didn't want to rock the boat or cause any embarrassment yet. So she was great about everything and encouraged me to do it. So
Oh,
I mean,
nice.
I was very fortunate in that respect.
So were you and Joy able to go out to like gay bars or gay
No, no,
establishments?
no, no. And there were no gay bars. It was illegal then. There were a few gay bars, but the bars were no touch. A lot of people don't understand that. And no touch means no putting my hand on her hand or her shoulder.
Wow. Oh,
No, they
I
could
didn't
come.
realize that.
Oh no, the cops would come in and raid.
I knew that. I knew that,
Oh yeah,
they would
but
do that.
and they would pick on the prettiest girls and take them out and say, "You want to go to jail? You want to go in the back of the car with me?"
Oh my goodness. How
No, I'm
horrible.
serious. It was awful. It
That
was
is
really
awful.
awful then.
That's
And I
horrible.
mean, this was in 1969 is when we met, and that was the year of Stonewall.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, no, we didn't go to bars.
Yeah. It's too risky.
Yeah, and the thing is, we kept to ourselves.
Yeah.
Joy was separated from Stan, her husband. They were very close. In fact, after she became sick, we all lived together, and Stan helped, in a lot of respects.
Yeah.
He didn't know our relationship until after the fact.
Okay.
I mean, he was so naive. But
yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Stan was a good guy. He was just kind of goofy. Yeah.
So, it's sad, like, right, to think that you had to hide your love from one another in order to survive in Hollywood.
Oh, we did. It would not fly. Her career would have been destroyed. She was a sex symbol.
Yeah.
Men adored her.
Yeah.
In fact, people still adore her. I have a Facebook page for the book, Joi Lansing, A Body to Die For, and lots of straight guys come onto that page, and a lot of them have read my book, and I cannot believe how kind and compassionate, and they actually really love the book.
Yeah.
And I'm very pleased about that.
That's so
I mean,
nice.
I expected, attitude, but no.
Oh, that's great. That is nice. That's nice to hear.
Yeah, it is.
People are being kind. It's always a good thing. So, do you think that things have changed in Hollywood? Or do you think like the majority of like the LGBTQ plus population in the acting world still maintain this facade?
I still think that they do, because there still is a stigma. I mean, things have gotten better, at least momentarily, until stupid Supreme Court. I'm concerned for our rights.
Yeah.
I'm very concerned.
Yeah.
I mean, we've worked really hard.
Yeah. I know it is scary. It's a scary time in the world. It's just unbelievable, really.
Yeah, it is scary, and I was closeted quite a bit of my life because of work and whatever, and where I was living after Joy died. And when people think you're straight, they tell you how they really feel.
Yeah, yeah.
If they think you're gay, then they will, we support you, rah, rah, rah. But if they think that you're straight just like they are, they will tell you how much they really don't like us. Wow. So, it's sad. I just hope that people will have a little more compassion. I think that more people are coming around, And that's one of the, that's part of the reason for writing the book. I would just want people to be understanding.
Yeah.
In fact, one of the coolest things that's happened in my life is my book was in the curriculum of a local high school.
That's so cool.
Is that the best?
Yes.
I mean, I am thrilled. The kids had to, these were for seniors because they, were mature enough to be able to read the book.
Mm-hmm.
And the smart kids, the IB kids, the baccalaureate kids, and they had to read 2 books and do 2 term papers. One was, I think, War and Peace, and one was my book. Do you believe that?
That's awesome.
Is that the coolest thing? And the kids had to write a paper, and the teacher would read their term paper and grade it, and then give it to me, and I would read it, and then I would write to each kid.
Oh my gosh, that's so wonderful.
Yeah, and then I would go in and talk to the kids and do a Q&A, and there was nothing off limits.
Oh, that's
Everything
so sweet.
the kids wanted to ask me, I would. And that's one of the things I would love to do. If anybody's out there, I love talking to the kids. And through those kids, maybe we'll have more understanding, more compassion, and maybe they'll be nicer to each other, to stop bullying, just because someone's a little bit different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, I was just in a meeting today, and we were talking about how really the younger people have grown up in this world where, they just come out. It's accepted.
Oh, yeah.
It's
oh man.
And it's always been a part of their life. And a lot of them don't know the history, the LGBT history, like, about Stonewall, or, about like even the AIDS quilt, or the, how it was the lesbians who took care of all the gay men,
Absolutely.
And so, we want to make sure we don't lose that history. And so books
absolutely.
like yours are so important. They really are.
Well, I hope your listeners will read the book. It's an ebook. It's paper, and it's hardback, and it's also an audiobook, and it's on Amazon and Barnes and Noble. And God, I hope they will, because I want people to remember Joi. Yeah, I really do. And
was she the love of your life?
She was absolutely the love of my life.
Aww.
Oh man, that breaks my heart.
Yeah, I'm sure it does.
I mean,
yeah,
I was so young, but
how difficult was it for you? Like, you're with this woman who she's a star. She's just, and people want her, fans want her. They, so how was that to share her with, her doting fans and folks who didn't know about your relationship? So,
No. Well, luckily we didn't put ourselves in a difficult position where we were around a lot of people.
Okay.
When she was working or whatever, I was there, and we were always together. We were never separated in the almost 4 years we were together.
Nice.
So, so that didn't come to play. Mm-hmm. So there was, and there was no jealousy. There was no problem, because people didn't have the opportunity really to hit on her or whatever.
Okay. It's not like she was as accessible as some people might be today because of social media or, other means.
No. Our life was very private.
Do you think that during your time together, do you think that there was anyone who suspected that you were more than just friends?
No, because the thing is, we pretended to be sisters.
Okay.
And that worked because we were both blonde, had the same color eyes, and we got away with it. Nobody ever questioned it.
Wow, that is quite a ruse, right?
Yeah, in fact, my name when I was with Joi was Rachel Lansing.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's my name on Facebook. If anybody ever wants to friend me, just let me know who you are.
Mm-hmm.
that you're a listener.
Okay.
Yeah, I was Joy's baby sister, Rachel.
How about that?
Yeah, so it worked. So we could, sisters can get away with a lot more,
True. Yeah. Yeah.
always
You
being
can.
together.
Yep.
Yeah,
You can
nobody says
touch each other
anything.
in public and no one says anything,
Yeah.
right?
Oh no, it's no biggie.
So
So
when
people bought it.
you wrote this book and it was first published, did anyone from your past or from Joy's past contact you and say, "Wow, I never knew"?
A few people did. And then recently, the coolest thing happened after I wrote the book. Joy's niece, Joy's brother's son's wife,
Okay.
contacted me through Facebook. She found me,
Oh.
and Joy's brother Larry died recently. And when they were going through his papers, they found pictures of Joy and me together.
Oh.
Pictures I didn't have.
That's so cool.
Pictures that prove pretty much that we were together, that we weren't just pals,
Yeah. Did they share those with you?
Oh, yeah. They sent them to me. I have them. And they're going to reissue the book supposedly soon.
Okay. With those pictures in
You know
it?
how publishers are. Yeah. So I'm not sure exactly when, but the new photos are in the book.
Okay. Yeah, I like how you have photos for our listeners out there. There are photos in the center of the book. I love that. It's great. It's a nice introduction to Joy.
Oh, she was so wonderful.
Oh, that's so great. That's
so sweet. She was so sweet. She didn't have an edge. She was so like your best friend in high school or college, just sweet and kind. She never said anything evil about anyone.
Oh, that's so nice to hear. That really is. Really is.
She was just a great human being.
As a fangirl here, during the 50s and 60s, right? You mentioned that, Joy was in the company of Marilyn Monroe and Jane Mansfield. And had you met those women?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right.
No, Monroe died in 1962.
Okay.
I met Joy in 1969.
Okay.
Yeah. And Jane Mansfield, I can't remember what year she died. But I'm friendly with Mamie Van Doren.
Really?
Mamie's still alive and kicking and gorgeous.
Wow.
It would blow your mind. She's 90 or 91, something like that. And I swear to God, I saw her recently, and her skin is like a 30-year-old. I don't get it.
You got to get her secret and let me know.
Hello. I wish I could find out, because she wears mini skirts. She's unreal.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah, check her out on Facebook.
I will.
God.
I totally will.
My God, she's gorgeous.
I will.
Mamie's very cool, and she loved my book, so that's really nice.
Oh, yeah. That is nice. That's really nice.
Yeah,
that's
cool lady.
Yeah. So, does like Joy's brother Larry, does he have grandchildren?
Yes.
And are they on board with you? Like, were they?
I haven't had any real contact. I've only had contact with the niece and nephew.
Okay. All righty.
As far as their children, no.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I don't know how.
I imagine they'd be okay.
I don't know what they know or whatever, but the niece and nephew are dynamite people.
Yeah, they sound it. It's so cool that they contacted you. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
it's nice.
Dynamite people.
It's nice that people are validating your experience and validating your relationship, when you had to hide it. Yeah. Really.
Yeah, it was tough. It was tough because my parents didn't know.
Yeah.
they knew Joi. I mean, we'd go over to my parents' home, or my parents would come and visit or whatever. But they thought that I was just, Joi was just a friend, and they wouldn't have gotten it. You know, they were very old school.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But they loved Joi. They thought she was wonderful.
Oh, it sounds like a lot of people love Joi.
Joi was, I don't think I've ever heard anyone say anything nasty about Joi.
Nice.
Ever. You know, just how sweet and kind and, all, you know, consummate professional when she worked. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, she could have been a much bigger star, but the people she was involved with acted as her managers, and they screwed her up. Like Lucille Ball, she worked with Lucille Ball quite a bit, and Lucille Ball wanted to put her under contract because Joi was more of a comedian than anything. She was really good. I mean, and Joi was married to Stan at that time.
Okay.
And Stan, Lucy had a contract for her, and Stan said, "Are you serious? You're too good for this," and refused the contract. Joi could have been a much bigger star.
Yeah. Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah.
That's a shame.
It's just bad luck.
Yeah.
I mean, she had bad luck all the way around.
Yeah, it sounds like she listened to the wrong people.
She did.
Yeah.
She was very innocent.
Yeah.
She was very childlike. You know how people envision Monroe being like woman child? Joi was a woman child.
Oh.
So sweet.
Yeah. Nice. So, Alex, I got to ask you, what are you doing since you left Hollywood behind? What have you been doing?
I've had lots of really cool careers.
I love that you say that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I love change. I'm good for one career, maybe 7-8 years, and then I get to the top of my game, and then then it's time to move on. What did I attended bar at a girls' bar in L.A. at West Hollywood. Yeah, I did that.
Go, girl.
Yeah, baby. The Palms in West Hollywood. Okay. It was the coolest women's bar. I worked there, and then I worked in some straight bars. I worked in First Hollywood Saloon and Rockwell's and Fellini's on Melrose, and then and I ended up doing management. Oh, after Joi died, Stan bought a restaurant in Maui. Okay. And I managed the restaurant.
Wow.
Yeah, so, I did that, and then came back after that was a flop.
Bummer.
Yeah, but it was okay. And then I attended bar, and then after that I moved to Scottsdale.
Okay.
Yeah, I got out of Hollywood and all that stuff and moved to Scottsdale. And I became a realtor.
Great.
I did that, and I did very well with that, but I don't like it. And then I became a chauffeur, which was one of the coolest things I've ever done. I loved that.
Oh, I'll bet.
I loved it. I drove some of the most important people on the planet.
Nice.
Yeah, and I had like one-on-one time with these people, and, and it was great. So I enjoyed that.
Oh, that's a great gig. Yeah.
Yeah, great gig. Really fun. Not a lot of money, but great gig.
Yeah.
So I did that, and then I became a private driver for a really lovely couple.
Oh.
And then, what did I do? Then I became a massage therapist.
Wow.
I did that. I went back to school. I go back to school to do all these things.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Became a massage therapist, and then my body got real tired.
Yeah. Yeah. So, you can only do that for so long.
That'll kill you. And then I went. Then I became an esthetician because I figured, I can sit down.
Yeah.
So that was the reason for that one. So I did that, and then moved. Then I had those health issues, and it was tough.
Yeah,
it was real tough. And then came back to California. Leslie had me come back to California, and I became a pharmacy tech.
Oh, wow.
I did that, even though I really didn't do it. I was more Leslie's personal assistant.
Okay.
So I did. That was great fun. And then I started working as a writer. I wrote for the Desert Sun and local papers, and did feature stories and covered society, which was really fun.
Oh, I'll bet.
Yeah, that was cool. And now I'm very involved with my jewelry.
Great. So you're making jewelry now.
I love making jewelry. It's my passion.
Oh,
I
nice.
love doing it.
Nice.
So a really cool thing, if anybody's in Palm Springs in November, the 11th and 12th, I think it's Pride weekend also, I'm a featured artist at the Palm Springs Women's Jazz Festival.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's going to be great. So I'll show my jewelry, and people can listen to some great music.
Yeah, that sounds like fun. Nice.
Yeah, it'll be great. It'll be great.
All right,
so
folks, you heard it. You heard it. Go November 11th and 12th if you're in the Palm Spring area. Check out the Women's Jazz Festival. And check out Alexis Hunter. She'll be there selling her wares.
Yeah, I love making jewelry. That's
nice.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
That's how I spend my time, is just making jewelry and loving it.
That's so great. That really is. That's such a great outlet too, right? For creativity. Yeah.
Yeah. Prior to that, when I was with Joi, she encouraged me to paint, which I did. And I had, I did well with that, and had one person shows, but now I'm into the jewelry.
Yeah.
I paint once in a while, but I'm more into jewelry.
Yeah. Fantastic. So, Alex, as I said before, this is an important book that you wrote. It's a piece of LGBTQ history that needs to be told and needs to be heard. The book is called Joi Lansing, A Body to Die For. It is a love story, and it's by Alexis Hunter. So, Alexis, I really want to thank you for being on the show. It's been great talking to you. And I just want to throw this out there. Do you have any parting words for our listeners?
Oh, God, thank you so much, Anita. I'm thrilled to be on your podcast and thrilled to get the word out about Joi and my book. That's so important. I want everybody to know about her. Yeah. I mean, she died before she could be everything she wanted to be. So, in my own little way, I want her to be a superstar, and more people are getting to know her. Yeah. I mean, if you go on YouTube, just put in Joi Lansing, and she did some of her films, even Stinko Bigfoot's on there. And,
cool.
Oh boy. And, oh my God. And a lot of her TV shows that she did. And you have to check out, she did the first music videos. Wow. They were called Scopatones.
Scopatones.
They came out in the 60s. They had these machines that looked like great big ATMs that were in bars and restaurants, and people would, I don't know what it cost, 50 cents or whatever, and you put in your money, and you could select a video.
Really?
And you could see your favorite singer singing a tune that you liked. And Joi was very popular. She did, I think, 3 of them, Scopatones. And the best one of all, they have to check out, is called Web of Love. It is so campy, so terrible. That you will love it. The direction, the guy focused the camera on her chest, on other parts of her body. It was just so awful, but it was a hoot.
Yeah. I have to check that out for sure.
Yeah, you got to check it out. And
I've never heard of a Scopatone.
On the floor laughing. Yeah, just Joi Lansing Scopatone, and it's Web of Love.
Thank you for sharing that. I am definitely going to look that up tonight.
Oh, yeah, you will love it. You will
Cool.
love it. Let me know. Let me know what you think
Oh,
of
I
it.
definitely will. I definitely
Yeah, I
will.
want you to please keep in touch with me. I'm serious.
Absolutely, I will. I will. Alex, it's just been a joy talking to you. It really
Oh,
is.
thank you. Thank
I
you so much.
I love your story. It's a sad story, but it's also a story of triumph. Really, you guys made
Yeah,
it
it
work
is.
for you. You know.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, how fortunate I am. I
Yeah.
mean, my God, um, to have that kind of love.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, I'm,
Definitely.
you
Yep.
know, I'm still blown away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
All right.
thank you. Thanks to everyone, and I hope you'll read my book. And you can contact me on Facebook. Friend me. It's under Rachel Lansing, and I'm on Instagram as Ms. Alex Hunter. You know, just talk to me. If you read the book and if you have questions, I'd be happy to talk to you.
Okay. All right. Thank you for putting that out there. Our listeners do contact people, so that is
Oh,
great.
I love it. I
Yeah.
love talking to people about Joy, about the book, all of that.
Nice.
I really do.
All right. Well, that's all the time we have for today, folks. I'm Anita Kelly, and thanks for joining. Let's talk about books, baby. And thanks again to Alexis Hunter. Check out her book. It is available on Amazon or on Barnes & Noble. And the book, again, is called Joi Lansing, A Body to Die For. So until next time, may your journey be lighthearted, peace be plenty, and be safe, folks.